Here at WSFA, but if you're getting ready to celebrate, officials want you to stay safe. Drivers, parents, keep an eye out for trick-or-treaters. Just so many tips if you're heading out and about, especially on this Friday. Joining us now in studio, we have Clay Ingram from AAA Alabama. Clay, we want everyone to stay safe and have fun tonight. And you always say awareness is key. What does that mean? What does that look like? Yeah, well,
it's a lot of common sense things, but a lot of people tend to forget a lot of those things. And so if you're parents and you're taking your kids out, you want to be sure you talk to your kids ahead of time and try to help kind of keep them close by, prevent them from running across the road or running out from behind a parked car and things like that. And then you need to be sure that their costume has some kind of reflective material on it, even if it's on the back where the kids can't see it, so that if they are in the road or close to the road, the vehicles can see them. And it's probably a good idea for them to have some kind of a light with them, a flashlight or a lighted prop of some kind, so that they can be easily seen. Because the kids get excited, you know how it is, and they're wearing costumes that they can't see out of them very well. Sometimes they can't hear out of them very well. Then they restrict their movement and they get excited and they run around. So you need to stay close with them, keep a close eye on them, and talk to them ahead of time if you're taking out kids.
If we're driving, if we're going out, it is a Friday night. A lot of people will be going out and about. What tips do you have for drivers?
Yeah, drivers need to understand that there are going to be these kids out there, and they are apt to shoot out into the middle of the road with no warning in a dark costume that they can't see well. And they need to be prepared for that and drive accordingly. So slow down, especially in the neighborhoods. Don't be distracted. Make sure you're not looking at your phone or something like that. And then you want to be sure that you're sober as well. More than 46% of the pedestrian fatalities last year involved some level of intoxication. So being sober on Halloween is very important because it's the most dangerous night of the year for pedestrians, and drivers just need to be aware of that.
If someone has a AAA card at home, talk about the services you all offer to drivers if they end up stranded. Hopefully that doesn't happen on a Halloween night, but if they have any other issues, talk about how AAA works.
Yeah, I mean, we've been around for over 100 years, and we still do the emergency road service, which is our core business. So if you have an issue with a flat tire or run out of gas, a dead battery, a breakdown of any kind, we can help you with that and get you where you need to be. But we're also the biggest travel agency in North America. We do have insurance services now with automobile, home, life insurance. It's just a long list of different things. And we're a not-for-profit, we're a public service organization, and we're just always trying to help people as best we can.
Some people are throwing parties tonight, myself included. It's our girl's birthday party happening tonight. Any last-minute tips for parents or folks planning a Halloween party?
Well, if you're a parent or an adult and you're heading out to a Halloween party, you want to make arrangements ahead of time to not put yourself in a situation where you might be driving after you've been drinking. And the time to do that is before you go out.
So now?
Yes, right now. So arrange for an Uber or a designated driver, or maybe a place to spend the night where you don't have to drive at all. If you're going to a neighbor's house, maybe you walk down the street and back again. Because the time to make those decisions before you go out. If you wait till you've had a few drinks and then make that decision, odds are you might not make the best decision. So just plan ahead and be sure you're not putting yourself in a bad and dangerous situation.
And Clay, switching gears here for a minute, you said a lot of people know AAA for that roadside assistance. You do a lot of travel, though. You have a lot of travel agents there at AAA, and a lot of people are talking about Hurricane Melissa, specifically Jamaica and the Bahamas. So many people from the U.S. vacation there.
Yes.
What does that mean for folks looking ahead, people who may have vacations booked in December or even further out spring break into March and April? What should we be doing right now? What kind of questions should we be asking?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's an important thing. And basically it comes down to a couple different things. If you can use a travel agent, I know our travel agents, you don't have to be a AAA member to use them, and it doesn't cost you any extra to use the travel agents, but they know a lot of the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, and if you get stuck in a situation like if you were stranded in Jamaica, they can do things on this side of the fence to help you find a place to stay, help you get home a little sooner, things like that. And again, there's no charge for that. But the other piece of that puzzle is you want to have travel insurance if you're planning a big trip like that. Now, if you're driving to Orange Beach for the weekend, you may not need travel insurance. But if you're planning an expensive vacation, you want to protect that investment just like you do with your automobile. And it's well worth it because the travel insurance will help pay for extra nights if you need to stay somewhere longer than you expected and have an increase in your airfare coming home. They'll pay for all that. If you need medical insurance and you're not in the U.S., your Blue Cross Blue Shield is not going to pay those bills if you're in another country. So the travel insurance will pay those bills for you. So you need to ask a lot of questions about that and be sure you have the right level of coverage because there's all different levels depending on where you're going and what you need.
For our viewers watching at home right now who may have already booked those trips, is it too late? Can they add travel insurance on the back end? No,
it is not. The vast majority of the time you have a pretty big window after you book your travel to go back and book the insurance. And some people think that's a little bit of a scam, but it's not. It's really not that expensive. It's typically about 10% of the cost of your trip or less, and it's a great thing to have.
I think Hurricane Melissa may be teaching people, unfortunately, how important that is. So maybe some folks who do have trips booked later on next year are looking into that insurance as well. Anything else you want folks to know on this Halloween day, this Friday?
Yeah, just a happy Halloween to everybody, and be safe, keep your wits about you, and watch out for those trick-or-treaters.
Clay, thanks so much for joining us here on Alabama Live. And